Do, do, do. Do, do, do. You didn't know I was a singer. Now you do. Now you do. You wish you didn't. Oh, well, that's not working. There it is. Boom. Who's got that green light? Pfft, I do. All right, hold on one second here. We're getting set up. No music today. I apologize. Let's get rid of this before I confuse everybody. And let's open this up, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I have a litany to go over, an absolute plethora of information to go over with you. And let me figure this out. We're going to do this together. I love things we can do together. Hold on here. There it is. And get this. I'm glad everybody liked the video last night. I do a lot of those videos on information. And then I'm not, just bear with me one second while I do this. I'm not the best with understanding like education, and then going from there. Like I go over things once and I don't understand why people don't get it. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm just saying like how my head works. So I think it's better for me to take some of those clips from the other videos and turn them into lessons. And I found this guy that will do the editing. So I found an editor. So I'll clip those things out from like a week ago or whatever, and then I'll just tell him what to do. So your feedback when I start putting those out is appreciated. But my goal with that video from last night is to create a series of those. So like every Thursday, maybe it'll be education night. And then Saturday's video, I'll lean into more, the information. I'll just pack that even more with stuff from Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get us ready for Monday. That's kind of where my head is with it. But I think I need more educational videos out there so people can see what we're doing and then just have that data. So that's where my head is with it. But just understand that, that's kind of where I'm going with it. Just bear with me as I get set up here. But again, I am getting to that. I know it doesn't feel like it, but I am getting to that 8 o'clock. We are getting there. So it has happened a couple times. Lately, it's been just so much information to go through. Today you have literally $5 billion worth of data that's coming out. What is in top list? Nothing. So this should be, can I get rid of this and then go index? And let's create another section here. Oh, that's really helpful down there. Can I move that? Perfect. But I do think that at the end of the day, let me just drop these down in here. Perfect. I do think at the end of the day, it's going to be a wild ride. And I do think that you're going to have to just bide your time here. You're going to have to really think about if you even want to trade today. It's not going to be for the week. It's going to be pretty wild. And I'm just going to walk you through it. You have 5 different asset class or 5 different things expiring today. Let me pull it up. And I can get to the notes and we'll go from there. So give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. I've made all these notes. All right. So S&P quarterly, FTSE, STOXX, NDX, ETF rebalance. It is going to be the biggest in market history today. Over $5 trillion in open interest across U.S. options, driven by a record notional $870 billion in single stock options will expire today. S&P dealer gamma positionings continues to increase, and it's now nearly $10 billion. It's going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely wild today. It's not going to be for the faint of heart. I don't know how else to say it. Actually, I was looking at this going, wow, this is like a great day to do very little. Things that I thought were interesting. So I'll start here. The move in CRM I thought was pretty interesting. I think it's worth us paying attention to. So CRM created a product that allows corporations to use their objective product to determine the best large language model, LLM, for them. So I would watch this carefully today. 244 would have my attention. Watch 250 if that happens. And you're looking eventually for a possible gap fill. No, there's a bunch of stuff I want to go over here. I made notes. Who made notes? I did. All right. This one's not good. Samsung, running on a Microsoft Windows computer, had ARM's chip and Qualcomm's chip in the computer. It could not process. It couldn't process the AI, and a lot of the programming started to shut down. This was the drop in ARM and Qualcomm yesterday. I would look for that to continue. Now, whether or not they fix it, they don't fix it, I don't know. I don't have a clue. But I'm just telling you it's an issue, and nobody wants that. Like no, that's not going to work. So that's why you're seeing follow through. Micron news must have hit while we're here. I didn't see the Micron news yet. I can pull it up on one of my sources, but there's got to be something out there. I mean, that's a big drop. You're down 4% today. So I don't even know what the news is yet. I hopped on here, but there must be something associated with it. See if I can find it real quick and go from there. I'll pull it up. That's a big drop. Let's see here. Micron shares are trading lower. All right, let's pull this over here. Micron shares are trading lower. Why can't you give me the whole thing? Hold on. No, I just want you to do your job. Come on, work with me, not against me. Give me a second. All right, let's pop this in here so you can see it. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time, but are you really not going to paste that in there? Really? All right. All this technology. Micron shares are trading low and reports environmental requirements have pushed the company's groundbreaking of its Syracuse labs into 2025. So they're pushing out their development. They also have an issue out in Idaho right now, where they're taking water from Idaho farmers to mine cobalt. That's going to go over like a ton of bricks. It actually already stated, which is kind of crazy. 2025 down 8 points. All right. Boy, that guy's going to hate me today for this. I think that's interesting. We should talk about this with Nvidia too. So a couple things. One, I tried to trade this morning. They should have gap filled, and it didn't. And that was really disappointing, to say the least. These kinds of bars, these are control bars, guys, that mark tops of patterns. You probably want to watch that. That is a top of pattern control bar very easily. Man, I should really be set up better than I am right now. That is a topping pattern. And I'm curious, are they going to roll into these ideas? Or are they going to get out because there's 5 trillion and they can get out today? That's what I'm wondering. Are they going to use the liquidity to get out of the market today? What else was interesting? SRPT, you got approval for a big drug. Everyone's been waiting for this. Will they, won't they? it doesn't really seem like it's taking off. It's been long awaited. It's done nothing but fade. Give me 1 second there, but it's done nothing but fade all day. Watch this, but wait, there's more. See, look, watch. So if you go and take a look right here and you drop that down and then you're here, see it? So like you can't even break over that. Somewhat troubling. You should be able to break over that. It's definitely an issue. And you should be able to do that, save that, and then go here. And let's get this going right now. And bear with me. Get that out there. We should probably go over the basics too while we're here. Let's go through the cues. Do the basic stuff. So you might have some issues today. You start breaking that level, that's, not a small amount of money. 30 basis points, 40 basis points pretty quickly. I don't know if you're going to rally today or not. I don't know how this is going to go. It's going to be a wild, wild day to say the least. Remember that quad witching, it's pretty volatile, especially the first 45 minutes. Like it's really volatile. So it seems to be a level 2, doesn't it? Right in there. And there. It's kind of interesting. You can't even take out the previous low on the SPY. I don't know. My gut's telling me there's gonna be a really bad day, but I'm just wondering if they are going to rotate into the winners. But I don't know. They might just lock it all in. The other problem that you have now, you have 5 trillion notional dropping, right? I hate when coffee gets cold. I don't mind cold coffee, but when I'm drinking warm coffee and it gets cold, for some reason it bothers me. But there's 5 trillion notional out there, but you don't have anybody to eat up the supply, right? We don't have buybacks right now. We're in that blackout period. It's not good. So I saw a statistic. I might go through that statistic this week. It's like we haven't had this many lows since 1955 on the indexes. Like sector-wise, like it's really bad. And I'm not sure, like they were trying to explain the data and what the data means. I have a hard time with data like that though, because unless I have more than, you got to give me close to 30 data points for it to mean a darn thing to me. Let's go take a look at what those levels did, if anything. They really are annoying me more than anything. I don't really think there's value in all those. Let's take that off on the hourly and let's come to that. I think that's really important. I think that's a really important period of time. From Monday, the 17th, and how you base there broke out. And that retest was just disgusting. I mean, that's just gross. Like there's no retest there whatsoever. Pardon me. I think there's an issue here. Look at these hourly bars. And you couldn't get over. You want to watch that today. Watch your hourly and 4-hour bars today. You're going to want to watch that, especially watch your 4-hour bars on trading today. It's going to tell you a lot because that's usually when a lot of the arbitrage is done today. So they start around 9:30 and then at 4 hours. But you're going to want to watch those today, especially on quad witching. Always watch those 4-hour bars. I don't think you can get out of your own way, man. I really don't. Yesterday was vicious. And there was nothing there yesterday that showed any chance like of the rally. And this is where you're at now. So, you know, when that thing flips, it's got to get back over that level for me to even, you know, feel like I should be in a hurry to do something. And if you look at that here, watch this too, but wait, there's more. And then the other thing I would do is just go here with the SPY, watch. Get rid of this for a second. And let's just go look at from this standpoint. So here it is on a 15-minute, and we're going to get rid of this, right? And you see how like the 3, the 5, and the 3, the 5, and the 8 are all lined up, right? But if you take the ES now and you overlay the futures market, futures always lead. I mean, we know that. They trade longer, right? This already cracked. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So like here's the 3, the 5, and the 8, right? And then you have like a little battle of nonsense going here, and then they lift. But they all shifted. They all shifted. They all shifted yesterday, right? And you have that follow through. You see the shift? And then this by the time this morning hit, the 8, the 5, and the 3, they're all stacked negatively. So that's not great. That usually leads to something like this. You know, it doesn't have to be weeks. It could just be a day or two, but it's not great. You need to see you need to see it fix itself. But this acts like a weight, right? It just acts like a weight when you're trying to lift. So, but what it does mean is that when you look at this in regards to the SPY, that's where this is heading, right? If it doesn't right itself, and you can see that here as well, right? And you don't want to be really, like if you go back and take a look at those periods, when these start aligning like that and they flip like that, you don't really want to be involved. You kind of, you want them aligned, right? When you're trading, if you're trading on the long side, if you're trading on the short side, it's differently, but if they start getting like this, you don't really want to be on the long side. And the other thing that would bother me too is the other thing that would bother me as well is the fact that we're below that private cloud on the hourly. There's nothing here I need. Let's drop this over here and get that done. And I'll click off of this, and let's bring this down so I can answer questions. Yesterday, the thing that scared me the most was they took a silly piece of innocuous news, and they're like, oh, this is super important. Like, what? No one cares. Oh yeah, it's bad. Today's insane, Bob. And it's not just us. It's not just us. It's everybody. So Euro stock, STOXX. What do you have it as? ICE market. Yep. So this this today is going to rebalance. Like there's so many things that rebalance today. The FTSE rebalances today. Like there's literally just so many things. So I don't know. I'd be careful. That's all I keep telling people today. I feel like I'm telling my son, make good choices. But you really want to be super careful out there today, dude. Like it's bad. It's going to be wild. The Penn trade I'm in, I like the idea. I think this makes sense. Now, do I stay in it or do I just buy it again at the end of the day? I don't know. I don't know. You might be maybe over the weekend. They need to do something. You know, they really do need to do something. They've tried everything. They tried their own app. They paid $500 million for Barstool, and then they gave it back to them for free. Like they might be one of the worst managed companies out there. Like it's super bad. And they're trading at book value. They were actually trading under book value, which I didn't know, or candidly, when it happened, I probably would have been out there trying to get involved. All they did here was just go, well, you're under book, and then you're under book here. And probably because you're bleeding money, right? They're just taking write-off after write-off after write-off. Like what are you doing? I mean, you own casinos, man. Like what are you doing? I mean, they print money and you're bleeding from like every orifice. Like it's crazy. People are not going to have it. You know, owners of these companies are not going to have it. Like there's no reason that a casino trades it like book. It's just nuts. So I do think there's something to it, and I do think that they're going to have to do something about it to appease their shareholders. And you got guys like Barstool, who's got a huge position like that. Poitner's got a huge position in this thing. How do you think he's going to vote? Guys like that are like, look, dude, the stock was $100, now it's 20. Can you get me out at 50? And can I get in this new company and get taken out? I mean, that's where these guys are going. If I was them, I mean, you'd have to be thinking that, right? You'd have to. I would think that. So what else you have? CAH Guild. So CAH, I'm not sure what they, I clicked this thing off the other day. I was playing with this, and now it doesn't seem to want to give me the same love. So I'm not really sure what to do there. It used to give me a thing right here. I don't even know what the symbol is. That's going to be an issue. Go to settings and go logo and title. There it is, Cardinal Health. Boom. Who can fix things? I can. I do think you're going to see money go into healthcare. I personally think you're going to see money go into XLP too. But Cardinal Health, something like this, yeah, I'd start paying attention to these names. And I'd start paying attention to the ones that are doing exactly what this is doing. If you're flipping a 55, like I use a 12, a 22, a 55, you should use what you're comfortable with. Yeah, Bob, I do. I like that. I mean, there might be something to that. I would take a look at that. How much is the dividend? It's 50 cents. Do you think you're going to drop on the dividend? Did you drop last X dividend? Not really. No one seems to care. You're kind of in a trading range, though, aren't you? I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I see the volume, though. They might move. I like playing the Proctors and Gambles of the world. I'm on these moves and the CLs. Like I like playing those names more than anything. But I mean, you are getting volume. It can go. I think the XLV names do have a shot here. I think they do. I think they really do. They're way undervalued. And look at the volume that came in yesterday. I think yesterday was a precursor to what we're going to see today. And I didn't feel that way yesterday coming into today because I felt like, oh, we're at least going to bounce around. But I couldn't even close this morning to break even on Nvidia. That was somewhat troubling. So this Micron, that might be it. It seems like a big wash, doesn't it, on that news? So I don't know. It does seem like the time to, day two, right? I mean, day two of the wash. Tried to buy puts yesterday. I complained that they were too expensive, the 150s. How'd that work out for me? All right, let's keep going. What else you got, Bob? It's a ton, dude. It is a ton that's expiring today. I don't think people get the kind of moves that could have on it. What else you got, John? This Gilead they were talking about in the room, and there's a lot of people. Oh, damn it! I thought I at least had another day on it. I wanted a different setup than I got. Thanks. I wanted this. I wanted an inside day, and then I wanted to break out. But there's a lot of things I want. I'm still waiting for Giselle to call. But you see, like I like those kinds of patterns. These kinds of gap ups where you could just roll back down. It's phase 3. The trial read very well. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV, but I do like this a lot. And when you look at how that responded on those days, the thing you always look at with volume, right, is not only I have huge volume, but well, what did it do on those huge days? I'm glad you asked. It went crazy. Okay, well, you might want to pay attention to that, right? So I like this a lot. I think this makes a lot of sense. It's very difficult for me to look at that chart and think of a reason you would come back to here unless this did not get approved. So even yesterday, it probably made sense to look at this, right, and get involved. because it's not going to care what the market does. You have a new drug, right? So where does that drug take you? I don't know, but I mean, 74 seems like a layup for this thing to get up there. I don't really think you're going to have much more problem than that, John. Look, right? Like, I mean, you have this huge gap in that chart right here. Huge. So you see it like over here too. So, I mean, when you look at that, whenever I buy these things that are like beaten down like this, I always want to see what's over my head, because my goal is if I can get up and in, then maybe I can play around for the nonsense that's up here, right? But you have a wall of pain up here, for lack of a better term. And you got a lot of people, they're going to go, oh, thank God I can get out. So it's going to run into this. So I think that you probably 3 or 4 points there. The trade was yesterday. I didn't do it, but that was yesterday. I do like that. What's up, Lise? Thanks. I think doing those videos will be very helpful. It's interesting because people were like, well, where's the informational video? I think it'll help me actually do the Saturday videos better. I just have to get in the process of planning. And, you know, candidly, it's just not my strong suit. Clove, Master Inside Buy, 8 out of 10 days, fighting for NASDAQ compliance. Please don't be a penny stock. Please don't be a penny stock. Okay. I wish you the best. I mean, why would you, like, why bother? Like, seriously, like, what, like, for what reason would you bother with this? You'd be better off going out there and taking that money and like buying Micron calls and hoping that Micron has a good quarter. Like, why, like, seriously, why even bother? It's just like, it's just so silly. It's an absolute waste of your money, dude. Yeah, please. It helps greatly with the algo. What's up? What's going on, Alex? VTI. You have some data coming out at 9:45 today, guys. You're going to want to pay attention to that. You know, I was reading an article. There was like 30 political people, 30 candidates that were like assassinated in Mexico. Oh my God. Why would I do this to myself? Like, what is the purpose of me buying this versus buying like the SPY? Do you have to buy this because you're in like like you're in a 401k or something? Like, why would I do this to myself? Is the fee cheaper? What is it, dude? Like, why would I do this? Hold on. Vanguard total stock market ETF. Like, why would I do this over? Like, why am I doing this over this? What is the purpose? Like, that's their S&P. Like, why would I do this? From 23 on, it's underperformed. Let's go back. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Wouldn't be the first time in my life. Let's go back 10 years. Why would I do this? All right, so let's dig into it a little more. And maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a shift coming, and it's a large blend. God, their expense ratios are so cheap. 3 basis points. And you pay a 30-day yield of that. Okay, you pay 1.29%. So maybe that's not factored into it. No, it is factored into it. I have no idea why you would do this over VOO. You're welcome to tell me why, but to me, I just looked at it. The risk is the same exact. You have the same exact risk. You're getting the same exact yield, and VOO is outperforming you. For what purpose would I do this? I mean, it's 10% more over 5 years. How much is it over 10 years? 310, it's 17% more on my money over 10 years. I don't know why I would do that to myself. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't get it. And it's not like you're getting less risk. Like, if it was like a risk issue, what's up, Andrews? You guys love this. No, they never talk. No one ever wants to talk to me about PLTR when it's down. They only want to come at me when it's up. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It actually looks fairly decent. But I think a lot of things could get smoked today, but we'll see. Yeah. I mean, I still have my positions on that are core and swings, but it's going to be a brutal day for me there. I think I'm getting another. I think I'm getting another nasty bar. You know, I do. I think I'm going to get another nasty bar. I think this really is probably gotten way too washed out here. This is interesting to me because that's silly news. I mean, it's news, but it's like silly news. What time is it? Time for you to buy a watch. Boom. And he's got jokes. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not great, dude. It's due for a pullback, man. The whole market is. Let me get this out. Thank you. Thanks, Kobe. What's up, Bill? Today should be fun. I love days like today. I love days like yesterday. I had a really good day, but it was like, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't understand like what's happening, you know, and you don't understand the quad witchings today, like you have issues because you're waiting for it to bounce again and you don't understand that the entire skew of the market changed. It's an issue. It's a pickle. Oh, you're welcome. I was very fortunate because I didn't have that background. I was pre-med, man. I didn't have that background when I was like, and I was also real fortunate when I got started. I was 23. I wish there were more guys that had like an institutional background or a different background that would come out with this. We covered it. Oh, several, dude. I was very fortunate to work at several different firms. I was a registering options principal. I wasn't a specialist. Specialists are on the floor. I did. So like the last firm was mid markets and high net worth family office stuff. So like guys that had, if your family office had like 50 million, like family offices, that kind of stuff. And then like hedge funds that were under $1 billion, which is called mid markets. It's probably higher now. It was a long time ago, dude. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't think a lot of people got that, Bob. It's a really good point. Like, look at this, dude. I marked it off yesterday. I saw it too. So this was our close, right? They're nervous. They're nervous going into today. They're definitely nervous, Bob, going into today, dude. There's no doubt about it. I think it's good. Like there's people in the room that know that stuff way better than I do that are doctors and specialists. They were all over it. What's up, Journal? I haven't seen you forever. Feels that way. Yeah, apparently that's really good. There's a couple of people, again, the doctors that are in the room that they've been all over that name. I have no position in it. They absolutely slaughtered it in that name. They crushed it. Dude, I've been sleeping like a baby. I got these new like blue light glasses. It's completely crushing my sleep. I don't put them on when I'm here, but like they're like legit blue light glasses. They're expensive. And I'm sleeping so much, but then it's like harder to wake up. What's up? Happy quad witching. What's up, Mayor? What's up, Sim? Yeah, that's on me. They're not. I didn't do it, but I agree. Like the one comment that I got a lot of is, "Dude, what's up with all the sound effects?" I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to keep people's attention," and there's people commenting on it. They're like, certain sound effects were good, others were bad. I did make notes, and I'll let the dude know, and then we'll go from there. And we'll make them better. They'll get better and better. But I think having something like that weekly is a really good way of like, look, because what I'm trying to do, Sim, like with that is like, my whole point is, okay, that's great. Like, here's the trade, and someone will go and go like, well, this is what you do. You watch this trade and, and then, oh, you just let it do this and then it does this and then you buy here or you do this and this is where I shorted and then I made money and I covered here. Like, we did 4 trades or 3 trades in this yesterday, for example, right? Like we did a long, it didn't work. I got stopped out. I did a short, I bought puts, we made money. I covered it here. We went long, we made money. And then I did another one down here and I made a couple bucks. But they're all different styles. But I could point the chart and do that. But I think what's helpful is like breaking down in slow motion what's actually happening and then walking through the trade soup to nuts and then people watching that trade live as well. I think that's very helpful because like hindsight's so easy, isn't it? But hindsight's very different, man, than like this, like, and that's what I think is missed. Like hindsight's very different than going, okay, well, I remember watching your video. Okay, go. And you're like, because you're not used to it. Like you don't know, but like when you have it all mapped out, it's so much easier, I think, because then you can go back and reference it and go, oh, it's one of these. And that repetition will build, it's like your brain's mud. All our brains are mud. And like, it's just like a car putting, tire tracks in it over and over again and routes in there. And then eventually you get it, right? It's just like changing your software. That's all. So I'm glad to hear that. So what's up, Cap? You take that back. You take that back. Don't talk about Nvidia that way. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Thanks, Andre. $400s, 50 foot. Maybe, dude. What's up, Rob? Thanks, man. First time watcher. Cool. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know what we're getting today, Mr. Beefy. I don't know. We're getting a ripper. Oh, I got to get this out. Sorry, guys. I think CRM has something to do with the product and option expiration strike more. No, it's got everything to do with the product. There's a huge note out today. I read it. There's there's an enormous note out yesterday. It's like a really big deal what they're doing because no one's doing what they're doing. No one's telling what corporations they should be buying which AI model to buy. And if you're a CTO, you're going to want their service, right? Because you're not going to want to be in a position where you're the CTO and you buy the wrong LLM and you lose your job. You would rather go to CRM and go, hey, dude, which one of these 4 do we want? And then they go, plug it into our system. And then you go back to the next C-level executive, your COO, and you go to the COO and you're like, okay, we paid CRM for this. CRM says use XYZ. You definitely want that product. It's a total CYA product, and it can also lead, it's probably pretty beneficial. So I think there's something to that. CTOs are going to love that product. It's one less thing for them to do and put their head on the chopping block. You have to think about who's going to benefit from every product. And CTOs are the ones that spend the money and go, we need this, because as AI adapts, we need to make sure that we're using the right LLM. I think there's more to that product that meets the eye. What's up? What's going on, Ponzi? What's up, G? Good morning. What's up, Edward? It's the worst, dude. It's the absolute worst. No one's going to ring a bell. It's true. You're better off having dry powder. Yeah, they're looking for a reason. He's got issues, man. They got real issues there at Boeing. I mean, they fried that guy. how in the world does he get a 45% bump in pay, dude? Like, I don't usually watch those, like, where the perp walk, where they bring the CEO in to yell at him and go, bad, you're so bad. But it's crazy, man, how poorly that company has been run and the money that guy's making off of running a company so poorly. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing to me that board of directors has not fired him. I'll tell you what is more shocking about Boeing to me. We have no activists stepping in yet. Like, you don't have like Elliott Management stepping in. You don't have a Icon trying to step in. You know, you don't have any of those guys. You don't have a Starboard trying to, like, there's nobody doing that yet, which is making me wonder. I would just watch it here, man. I think there's too many things that are like, you're rejecting you're rejecting the 55, and you broke your trend line. So I wouldn't be in a hurry there. I thought we bounced this morning. I was wrong. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know if they're going to use this liquidity as a reason to get out. I had a really simple trade on this morning where I tried to catch it and see if I was going to gap fill, and I lost like 50 cents on it and just said, okay, tag, we're not going that way. I thought for sure at 7 o'clock that I'd see some of the retailers try to trade this thing up. Instead, they just took it the other way. So, you know, I would just stay out of the way. They're going to just turn this thing. That was really silly. I should have gotten involved. It's too busy. It's too busy. And now I'm in like no man's land. Still $4, but on that news, right? I don't know you're going to head back to here or not. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll drop. We'll see. 945 is going to be big. Yeah, that can get ugly, dude. That's a super thin name, G. Like, that's super thin. You know, like really, really thin. I don't think people understand how fast that thing can drop. It's a long way down, man. You can go down 100 points easy. They delayed something. Something got delayed. Oh, I just read it. You were there. You heard it. I'm just going through these questions. Depends. You usually get a follow through day. I actually think yesterday was pretty telling. I actually think they're trying to get ahead of today's dumping. And I think they're using, like, you have to think of what they're doing. So they sell yesterday. They use that dumb news to sell, right? To get ahead of the news. And then when they get ahead of the news, they're going to follow through today. That's what I think. That's where my head is with it. The video should have helped, and it didn't. So, you know, 122. I don't know. We'll find out today. Is that what it was? It was 100% effectiveness in trial? Jesus. I didn't know that. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? I didn't know it was that effective. Yeah, I think as more people catch on to that, it's probably going to do well. Apple. I like Apple a lot. I don't know if today's the day, man. You did get some news today that could move it higher, in my opinion. Goldman raised their iPhone sales, or global mobile smartphone sales. Apologies. Did this go out? No. Sorry, guys. Give me a second, please. What time is it? John's supposed to tell me when it's not. Oh, he did tell me it's 9 o'clock. Sorry, John. I'm getting ready to yell. I like this Gilead a lot. I really do. I really should have done that yesterday. I made a mistake there. I made a mistake there with that Gilead not getting involved. Look how fast they're dropping them. Like, look how fast these things drop, man. You might be better off, like for those people that play options, you might be better off just selling puts on the day on like where you're willing to own stocks. Can you please show the 5-week economic Fed stimulus? I guess I could. I think there's too many other names to short. And I think there's too many other names to short, dude. That's where my head is. I think that's why it's not dropping. I think it's not dropping because it already dropped. As much as a pig as I think it is, I think the fact that you're here, right, that you're already down 30%, and these other names are at highs, I think people feel safe being in the name and they want semi-exposure. Also, the fact that this is the quarter and you're up and all those people are still up on the trade, I think they feel safe. So I don't know, like if you put a VWAP from there, right? So like there's your VWAP from the date of earnings, right? When it gapped down, dude. And now look, here you're just sitting there. I don't know. I think there's probably better names. I'm not breaking down anymore. Maybe that's a base level where people want to just buy this thing. But when I'm riding the 55 like that, you know, my short yesterday did not work. I lost money. I made more on the Nvidia short than I wanted. You know, I didn't really want to, but because I was had long in the other accounts. But like the Nvidia short, I made way more, and I lost money on the AMD short. I just think it's too washed out. Is where my head is. Shame me, shame me, shame. Would you get the bell? I don't know, man. I'm in the video on so many different levels. So like, you know, here's where would I de-risk my Nvidia swing? If I was break even on any Nvidia on a swing trade at this point, you got to get out of the way. I think anything like even I had a day trade yesterday, I made some money on the long, right? Like the moment after I scaled out twice, the moment it hit my stop, like break even, I'm like, okay, tag, I'm out. Like I would not hold any swing trade that's underwater in anything right now. People have no idea how bad this can get. This can get really ugly fast. You have there's no buybacks out there, guys. Like there's no buybacks right now. You have a window of no buybacks. And if institutions sell, right, it's going to be window down. Like that's what it's going to look like because retail can't stop institutions. So it can get bad, man. So that's how I view it. Best channel ever. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know. I don't know why they think it happens on Wednesdays. I mean, they do it on the day it expires because they want to do the arbitrage. I mean, maybe people plan for it on Wednesday, but I don't know why it would be on Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know what, like, why would you plan for it on Wednesday? They expire today. Maybe. I see no valid. I don't know the reason for that. Maybe they're right. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why you would do that. Like how, or what would be the purpose? Hey, wow, we went over it. I do like it. I think I made a mistake yesterday not buying it. Yeah, people literally are calling the airport and seeing if they're on a Boeing flight. It's not good. Oh, it's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane. I do think that you could see that. I do think there's something to that. Like I was looking at the diamonds yesterday. I would look at where the money goes at the end of in the afternoon. Like if you want to see where the money's going, look where the money goes in the afternoon. 70 is a problem. Yeah, you can get through that. You can see 122 today, man. Easy. I think diamonds. I was looking at the diamonds. I think so. I do. What's up, Jay? Like I think some of that. Like I keep thinking about that. Like, well, I wanted to buy Micron right into earnings. I tried to buy the 150s yesterday. I complained they were too expensive. How'd that work out? And now look at them. But I do think there's something there. I do. I got to jump, guys. I'm late. Watch tomorrow's video. It's going to be packed. Trade to win. Have a great weekend.